Today is the last day of Super Week and the last chance for a lot of these teams.
Everything that means being a pro gamer is on the line.
Every game right now is going to decide who faces who.
Oddly enough, for some of the teams at the top last split, Curse and Dignitas are both fighting.
We just need to win one game, then we good. We're top 6.
Dignitas is a team who actually has a really good chance of qualifying for PAX, but they're going into the playoffs backwards.
Win against anyone would be pretty good right about now.
TSM has gone 3-0 this week, but they have to play Cloud9 and Vulcan today. So even though it looks like they're on the uptrend, we'll really get to see if they are today when they play the top teams.
So one of the really exciting matches today is going to be the Curse versus CLG matchup. It's Double Lift, who's a very outspoken AD carry, versus St. Vicious, who's one of the most outspoken junglers. And even though CLG already have a playoff spot locked in, Curse are still on the brink of being knocked out.
Welcome everybody to the final day of the summer split. I'm Riving Kavizin III, and camping the lanes for the first 2 games with me today is Joshua Jat-Leesman.
And today we have 8 games coming your way, starting with Coast fighting for their playoff lives against first place Cloud9.
Before we get into today's matches, we have to talk about yesterday's action, starting with Team Solo Mid pulling out another win to go 3-0 so far for Super Week.
Yeah, TSM's schedule has actually been very easy up to this point. They've played the 6th, 7th, and 8th place teams thus far, but today we'll see how strong of a team they've really become because they have to play first place Cloud9 and second place Vulcan as they try to lock down that 3rd place finish.
And right behind them in the standings is Counter Logic Gaming. Yesterday, CLG locked down the 4th playoff spot and a trip to the North American Regionals.
Yeah, CLG's actually in position to maybe overtake TSM for that 3rd place spot. Not only do they own the tiebreaker versus TM 4-0, but based on TSM's challenging schedule, CLG has a real shot of taking 3rd.
And with CLG securing the 4th playoff berth, that means there are only 2 playoff spots left and 3 teams trying to claim them.
Yeah, and the least likely team to get that playoff spot is Team Coast. They need to win both of today's games and then also have Curse lose both of their games to force a tie for 6th. Coast could even force a tie for 5th if Dignitas loses both of their games as well. But if Team Coast loses the first game against Cloud9, none of that matters. Dignitas and Curse will be in the playoffs. But no matter what Team Coast does, all Dignitas and Curse have to do is win a game and they're in.
And besides the final push to the playoffs for Curse, Dignitas, and Coast, there are a few playmakers making a final push to break some LCS records.
Yeah, we got some cool records coming up across NA and EU. ManCloud can break Alex Each's and Bjergsen's record for most kills in a split. Last spring, those guys got 159 kills apiece. Right now, ManCloud has 146, which is 13 shy of their total. He has 2 games here to break that. His teammate Bloodwater can also break the all-time assist record, which is actually currently held by Curse's former support and Coast's current coach, Elements. Bloodwater has 305 assists and is just 3 away from tying the record and 4 away from breaking it, obviously. And finally, we have Meteos. He's on his way to a couple of records. He can get the highest KDA ever for an LCS split if he holds pace. And as long as he doesn't die more than 7 times today, he'll also have the fewest deaths of any player who's played all 28 games in a split. So these records are across North American and EU, and I'm excited to see if they happen.
Well, before we get to today's potentially record-breaking performances, let's take a look back at yesterday's 6 games and the best plays from Day 2 of Super Week.
Day 2 of Super Week kicked off with the 12-12 Counter Logic Gaming facing off against the 21-3 Cloud9. Early on, CLG and Doublelift could not be stopped.
Oh, he goes over the wall, gets cute. No, he didn't.
No,
He was the barrier. Oh my God, he got the barrier baited. More mechanics.
The shield from Jouster comes in at the end just in case for the last Ignite tick.
But as Doublelift goes, so goes CLG. And Cloud9 would survive to improve to 22-3.
Dodging out the wall. The Doublelift right in the front of the fight. Stranglecords go up. He is not coming out of this one alive. Jouster, no, Link is going to be the next one. The carries are down. Let the damage follow from the rest of the team. Taking out the Nexus now 37 minutes into the game. The GGs are set and Cloud9 has the victory.
With their elimination from the playoff race, Velocity Esports were playing the role of spoiler when they took on Team Curse, who were battling for their playoff lives. But Curse would not be spoiled, and they would roll on to an easy win to stay 2 games ahead of Coast for 6th place.
Look how confident they are right now in the face of Velocity. Because Nijaki teleports to the red ward that they placed. Coming into the fight, Velocity is forced to turn tail.
He's dead. He's on. I'm going around. Kill that. There you go.
GG. The game just went from an uphill battle here for Velocity to a bloodbath. Curse have just destroyed them.
Edward and team able to pick up another win on Super Week.
I mean, our chances are pretty good, but I still would rather earn the spot myself by winning the games rather than like, oh yeah, they lost the games. Because we still got to go into playoffs and we still got to perform there.
In the third game of the day, Team Coast were facing an uphill battle for a playoff berth when they were 2 games behind Curse and Dignitas with only 3 games to play. And unfortunately for Coast, one of those games was against second place Vulcan.
With the attack, Psycho Sin goes down, and he did not know that Zion Spartan was camping that brush.
Well, he was running around. He ran that circle around the minions to try and get his blobs back to heal up.
Oh my gosh, what?
My God, the mind games here.
The win for Vulcan dropped Coast to 9-17 and all but eliminated them from the playoff hunt.
Psycho Sid still chasing on Shifter, even though he has no life. So
Oh,
the vision
what
is
a
up.
shot!
Beautiful shot with that slingshot.
Dennis the Menace would be proud. Vulcan figured out how to get through the front door of Coast Base.
Vulcan really looking to head into playoffs with a lot of momentum.
The introduction of patch 3.10 led some to believe that would be Cloud9's downfall. But in their matchup against Dignitas, Meteos proved they were as unstoppable as ever.
What? And the ult comes across. Scar has to try to flash away, but here comes Crumbs. It's going to be enough high. Down to 50 HP. It's going to be a trade kill right there. Another Ignite burn for this one. Meteos chasing around Crumbs. He's just going. He might get him. Gets cued in the face. Double kill for Meteos. Carry jungler? I think so. And the dive right there. Kiwi down to 400 HP. Will he repel into the air? He will. Yep. And down he goes. Meteos on a rampage. One more hit to go. Scar with the shield. Meteos finds him. Unstoppable.
Look where Meteos is right now. He doesn't care, and he's going to try to duel until his last breath.
Only 300, 400 HP. Oh, beautiful Ezel catches a stand united, and High shows up.
Getting away with that. Feels a little dirty.
And with their 23rd win, Cloud9 sets the LCS records for wins in a single split.
And that'll be enough for the Nexus. Congratulations to Cloud9.
Meteos definitely put on his carry pants for that one from the start of the game all the way through.
CLG took on their new nemesis, Velocity Esports, in the 5th game of the day. Playing with nothing to lose, Velocity had some tricks up their sleeves.
NK Club going into this fight, pops the ulti. Evidence is joining the battle as well. Stun does not quite land from Echo. No, gets back with LP, and the Chaos Storm just bringing him down. Kill picked up. The burst coming across the tank jungler. Woo!
Get him! Victory!
Yeah, Victor! Come on.
Woo!
But Velocity could not close it out, and CLG picked up the win to improve to 13-13.
They've taken down the Nexus, CLG, and you look at on their face, they're like, all right, well, we did it, but that was not pretty.
I don't think we really deserve any congratulations for that game, not gonna lie.
The last game of the day featured the 11-14 Curse versus the 13-12 Team Solo Mid. A Curse win would mean Team Coast would be eliminated from the playoffs. After leading most of the game, an extremely wild Turtle nearly lost his mind.
Look at Turtle! Turtle's flashed into the base to get the kill here.
I'm not going in.
He's now alone, and that's not a Thresh on his team. He can't get over the wall, but the rest of the team flashes forward. They just want disengage. St. Fish is in the middle of the team, but it's a kill onto a special. Cop is destroying. Double kill for Cop. That was a 2 for 3. TSM losing that one.
Turtle went crazy in that fight. He lost his mind as he flashed into the base.
But TSM gathered themselves to secure the victory, keeping Team Coast's playoff hopes alive.
A beautiful bubble lands onto 3, but Cobb is taking so much pain, forced to run away. Shirelli is used as well. Look at the dive in there. Ari finding a double kill. Another one for Nocturne. Wild Turtle getting a kill with the poison as well.
TSM was not scared of diving despite having some bad experiences, and it gets them the win.
So we can see TSM kind of getting onto the same page towards the end of the split in some scenarios.
Yeah.
What was that?
They might go in.
They might go in. They always might. With 1 day left in the summer split, let's take a look at the standings. In first place, it's Cloud9, which means they have now officially been in first place every day of the summer split.
Yeah, and sitting in second place is Vulcan. TSM's in third and COD's in fourth, although that's a tight race for third. Curse and Dignitas are tied for fifth, while Team Coast is sitting in seventh. Velocity sitting in eighth.
And as the North American teams continue their march to the regional playoffs and the Worlds, we thought now would be a good time to break down how it all works.
Yeah, so the World Playoffs will officially kick off on September 15th right here in Los Angeles, California. 14 qualifying teams from around the world will face off for the Summoners Cup in the Season 3 title.
There will be 5 regions and 1 wild card represented, and it breaks down like this. 3 teams from North America, 3 from Europe, 2 from China, 2 from Southeast Asia and Taiwan, and 1 from the International Wild Card Tournament. And because they won the All-Star Team Tournament, 3 from Korea.
The playoffs will start with the group stage where 10 of the 14 teams head to the Rift with the top seeds from North America, Korea, China, and Southeast Asia all getting buys.
The remaining 10 teams will be split into 2 groups of 5 where they will compete in a double round robin with best of 1 matches. The top 2 teams from each group will move forward to the bracket stage where they will face off against the 4 top seeds and duke it out for the Summoners Cup in the World Finals on October 4th in Los Angeles' Staples Center.
But we've still got a ways to go before we get there. So first, let's talk about some of the qualifiers. Each region has a different way of figuring out who gets to go to Worlds, and we'll break them all down for you today, starting with our home region, North America.
Here in the NA LCS, it's a pretty simple process. The teams that finish first, second, and third at the playoffs happening at PAX Prime move on to Worlds. On the other hand, Korea does things a little differently. At the end of the OGN Summer 2013 Grand Finals on August 31st, the 2 teams with the most circuit points will go to Worlds. Of those 2 teams, the one with the most circuit points will get a bye straight into the quarterfinals and will completely bypass the World's group stage. The 3rd Korean team will be decided a week later at the Korea Regional Finals. So let's talk a little bit about these teams.
Yeah, so even though Sword is ahead in circuit points, the most they can get is 100 more because they're not in the OGN Champions tournament anymore, which means that CJ Entis Frost, MVP Ozone, KT Roaster B, and SK Telecom and Naj and Sword all theoretically have a chance of getting first. And for the teams that finish 3rd through 6th in points, they'll make it to the Korean Regional Finals where they will face off to decide the 3rd World Playoff participant.
All right, that's 2 regions down, 3 more, and a wild card to go. We'll be breaking those down later in the show. And all right, if that info has your head spinning faster than Garen's judgment, don't worry. Just head over to lolesports.com and check out the full details. But before North America's best teams can try and conquer Worlds, they have to make it to PAX Prime and the NA LCS Regionals. The final playoff positions will be determined today in our 8 epic matches.
Exactly. Our day kicks off with Team Coast facing off against Cloud9, followed by Team Dignitas taking on Velocity Esports, and then Balkan battling Team Solo.